I'm going to begin, Jordan, by asking, I was interviewing Alex Garcia yesterday, and he said that the idea to bring in the Vietnam setting was something that you were quite keen to bring into this story. I was wondering what it is, why you felt that would be such a kind of have an impact on the narrative in this instance.
Because it's awesome.
Yeah.
No, when they came to me, I was so excited about the idea of a new King Kong movie, but I didn't understand initially why an audience would be like, I need to go see a new King Kong movie. What makes it fresh? What makes it different? What makes it special? Why should you go see it? And this idea of like choppers and napalm in the 70s and Apocalypse Now in King Kong and like a Vietnam War movie with like a Harryhausen creature feature, I was like, I've never seen that movie. I would watch the hell out of that movie and I would make the hell out of that movie, and I feel like my friends would want to see that movie. And so there were so many thematic elements about the time period and so many things about that era that were fascinating to me, but fundamentally just the aesthetic genre mashup was so intriguing to me at the beginning that when I pitched them the idea, I thought they were going to laugh me out of the room. I thought they were going to be like, you're crazy. And instead they were like, cool, let's do that.
It also means you get to have a really good soundtrack as well.
It means like, yeah, Hendrix and napalm and choppers and, you know, the Stones. Yes, absolutely. That's like a huge part of that.
But in spite of that kind of the sort of more, the kind of undercurrent, that sort of social political undercurrent, I mean, this is a film that just thrives in entertainment. It sort of feels reminiscent to like Jurassic Park and films like that. I mean, how important is it that we have films like this to indulge in still? That they just this pure kind of unwavering commitment to sort of fun.
I think it's extremely necessary. Like, you know, I think that there are films that are fun for people because people turn their brain off. And I don't think that's what this is. I think that this is a movie that's fun, but it gives you a sense, you know, like no one would ever argue that you turn your brain off during Jurassic Park. It's just a well-crafted sort of genre film that takes you on a journey. And sort of almost makes you feel like a kid and gives you, to me it was more about like creating that sense of wonder again. And I think it's incredibly important, especially right now, that we have things that, I don't want to say escape and do because I think that has a negative connotation, but to go and just enjoy.
And I mean, how important do you think it is at the moment? The studios are taking chances on kind of indie filmmakers, I mean, such as yourself, because Colin Trevorrow, of course, Gareth Edwards, I mean, it's literally going from sort of indie hit to huge blockbuster. I mean, you've been given the tools to tell such a huge story. I mean, that must be so great that studios are kind of paying attention.
Yeah, it's amazing. Look, it can be the deepest, darkest version of that is that they hire a young guy to control him and take advantage of him. And that happens all the time. I was working with great people who, the reason they hire a young guy like myself or Gareth is because A, we're young and dumb enough that we're willing to like break our back to make something great, but also studios are smart enough now that they don't want to hire just a journeyman who's going to go and do the same movie and it's going to look the same and it's going to feel the same. Like they actually want a voice. They want someone to come in and like really, like what Gareth did with Godzilla and what we tried to do with this is like really ask the questions of how we reinvent this, how we make it feel special, how we make it feel relevant. And I think that just there's like a younger stubbornness in like a creative aggression within people.
But obviously, I mean, with Godzilla versus Kong, I mean, who's going to direct it? You or Gareth? I mean, how are you going to decide that? Is it going to be like a arm wrestling or just a flip of a coin? Or
I think Gareth and I will both be on a sailboat while someone else does that.
Yeah. But one that you are kind of, well, I think you're doing, the Metal Gear Solid, or at least you're rumoured to be attached to that one. I mean, where's that one at the moment in kind of development? And you're quite nervous about getting into the kind of video game to movie kind of sub-genre, I guess, because it doesn't seem to have much luck.
Not nervous. I would only be nervous because Metal Gear is a masterpiece of media, not just video games. We're developing the script on that right now. But there's no franchise that I would rather shepherd into this world as a film than that, and try and protect Kojima's voice and try and protect the tone of it and try and protect the visceral things that game makes you feel as you play it, because I don't think there's anything on this planet like Metal Gear Solid, and I think that it can be an incredible film.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for your time today. Much appreciated.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey!